Tesla, Palantir, and PayPal stocks all had big news come out here today. I want to get into that. We're going to talk a lot more in this video also about some other stocks and also a little rally today in the market. People are like, is this a little fake out rally in this market and back down we go? We're going to speak about that in today's video. Obviously, oil sunk in a massive way. So a lot to get into in today's video. I appreciate every single person for being here. Thank you for being subscribed, folks. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody that is subscribed over on the other channel as well, my reaction channel where I react to videos. We're going to hit 35,000 subscribers here tonight. So I appreciate every single person that enjoys that channel and subscribed over there. And also thank you everybody that ever says hello on IG and sends me a nice message, things like that. I appreciate it. I try to get back to obviously as many of you guys as possible, but I definitely very much appreciate the kind words you guys always send me and things like that. So alrighty guys, let's get into this. Palantir Technology. This might be there's a few big pieces in regards to Palantir here. This might be the lesser of the big things in regards to Palantir, but this is still big. Palantir Technologies and PwC collaborate, accelerate operational transformation. Now, PwC is one of the big four accounting firms. You might know them. They do other things other than that as well, but they're a gigantic corporation. I believe they have several 100,000 people employed around, so that it's an incredibly large organization. Palantir Technologies today announced the next milestone in strategic alliance with PwC, a global professional services firm. The collaboration will combine Palantir's latest AI capabilities with PwC's industry expertise to help clients realize value with data and AI-enabled operations. The alliance will use PwC's leverage for Palantir's Foundry, the platform for integrating data analytics and operations, and Palantir's artificial intelligence platform, AIP, to help clients identify and action strategies for value creation and operational transformation. The alliance brings together PwC's deep industry and functional expertise and Palantir's cutting-edge software to enable organizations to affect outcomes at speed and utilize latest technologies to deliver transformational and sustained business impact across multiple industries and activities, including manufacturing, supply chain, health, pharmaceuticals, financial services, ESG, M&A, digital audit, and others. PwC and Palantir have both demonstrated a strong commitment to bringing generative AI to enterprise operations, with each company making significant investments in the field. In addition, Palantir has chosen the UK as a location for its European headquarters for AI research and development, right? Now, by the way, you know another reason why Palantir is choosing to do things in the UK? Okay, a couple of reasons. One is something we're about to get into in just a moment here. The other is, we know if there's a place where Palantir has been lagging, it has been, guess what? Europe in general, right? So it's very important that Palantir builds a bigger presence in Europe, right? Now, in regards to this deal and this further expansion of their relationship, I think it's phenomenal. PwC is one of the biggest companies you can find out there, and so it just gives more legitimacy than ever for Palantir. Like, if one of the big four accounting firms and you are in like this, so you're not going to use it for your Fortune 500 company? Like, come on now. Right? So this is just a huge, in my opinion, win for them. I mean, obviously it's going to add up to likely a lot of money, but I think it's even bigger from like the branding perspective of like these large corporations doing deals with Palantir, right? This is more just funny. Somebody said Palantir boss man is on the candivore diet. Oh man, I don't know what happened, man. Carbs usually looking really in shape, and they got a picture of him, not so flattering in regards to that, right? Now, here's big news in regards to Palantir. Palantir stock jumps on report it's closing in on the UK data contract. Palantir has emerged as a top pick for a large contract overhauling the United Kingdom's National Health Service. Bloomberg reported Palantir stock jumped, obviously, today. The 5-year contract, which could be extended by 2 years, so maybe 7 years, we'll see, is worth as much as $579 million, according to Bloomberg. Further, Palantir would help the agency analyze medical data and ultimately overhaul its entire system. The UK government is on track to announce Palantir as a winning bidder as soon as this month, Bloomberg report said, citing people familiar with discussions. However, the report notes that the deal is subject to final approvals and legal agreements. Okay, now, this has been like one of those things out there, like could the United Kingdom use somebody that's a company that's just called that's inferior product, but is maybe a European company or something like that. It's been a worry that's out there. And to get this worry kind of off us now is absolutely monumental, folks, okay? I mean, this is a big deal. This is a big, big deal, right? And this comes after their deal from last week that we talked about, obviously, on the channel, right? Where Palantir got a boost after they won their $250 million U.S. Army contract. I mean, add up those numbers, this is quite significant numbers, right? So, folks, okay, Palantir, you got to keep in mind, Palantir is a company that's going to do maybe $2 billion or so of revenue, right? When you see all these massive contracts coming in, just understand Palantir is likely going to go through a several-year cycle of very exciting revenues. When you talk about a $600 million deal here, a $250 million deal here, another big deal with these big corporations. Remember, these deals with these big companies can be tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in themselves, right? And so we're clicking, and things are starting to come together in a massive, massive way for Palantir, folks, okay? Now, in regards to me personally with the stock, right? Oh, I got to say this about the stock. Well, I don't think I hold enough shares. I'll be honest. I don't think I hold enough shares of Palantir. Yeah, I'll put it like that. And, keep in mind all these things going on the fundamental side, but also keep in mind that we likely have, guess what, S&P 500 inclusion likely coming in the next 2 to 3 quarters, if not the next 2 quarters. So, and that's not a guaranteed thing, but I'm telling you, it's looking pretty dang good. And so that's likely coming in the next 2 or 3 quarters, which we're going to likely see another big run up once they announce S&P 500 inclusion. And then usually you see another run up once you get into the S&P 500 because a bunch of funds and ETFs and things like that have to buy Palantir. So it's an exciting time. It's certainly a very exciting time of being a Palantir shareholder. It reminds me a lot of, maybe not to as exciting of an extent, but it reminds me a lot of kind of like Tesla 2019 is kind of what the vibes are in regards to Palantir right now. So very exciting days ahead for Palantir in regards to stock and everything like that. And so very excited. Hey, before we get into Tesla, PayPal, and a ton of other stocks in the market and whatnot, I want to invite you guys to apply to join my private group. I know I don't tell you guys a lot about the private group, but I know a lot of you guys don't understand what you're doing in the freaking market. You don't understand income statements. You don't understand balance sheets, cash flows. You don't understand if you're getting ripped off on a stock, if you're getting a good price on a stock, if you're getting a bad price. You don't understand portfolio allocation and how to do that properly, all those sorts of things. If you need help with any of that, apply with the pinned comment down there. Join my private group. We've had a lot of people go through that program over the years, folks, and the success speaks for itself. So the amount of people that have reached 6 figures or 7 figures in their portfolios is astronomically high. And when you reach 6 figures plus in your portfolio, we send you one of these guys right here. One of these diamond awards, we send you a complimentary to your house. And once you hit the 7-figure club, we send you one of these big boys to your house, okay? The 7-figure club award. So, and once you join, you get one of these cards right here, little membership cards. So, folks, get in there. Apply to join us in there. And, let's take things up to a little higher level there, okay? Alrighty, Tesla Maesla. So we just went back over a 1,000% gain in regards to Tesla Maesla here today. Obviously, big day in regards to stock price. We were up $24,000 on the Tesla shares on the public account here today. That was up about 6% move there, okay? So I didn't speak about this. This news was from 2 days ago. I didn't give my opinion on it. And I really wanted to let it marinate and see how I really felt about the numbers, okay? So Tesla reported 435,000 deliveries, okay? Now, last year, the company did 343,000 deliveries, okay, in the same quarter. Now, some people are looking at this as like this was bad numbers. Boo, Tesla, you didn't even hit what Wall Street expected. Wall Street was talking about 461. They came in at 435, okay? Let's put a little context behind this. Anybody that says this was a bad number is completely delusional in regards to Tesla. When you did 343 and you just grew to 435, okay? Look at that freaking chart in front of you right now, okay? This is interest rates on car loans. We went parabolic over the past year in regards to interest rates on car loans. I don't think we've ever seen the interest rate on car loans shoot that high and that fast in history. Like that fast, it's ridiculous, right? We went from like under 4% car loans for interest to now we're talking about approaching 8%. And it happened in a snap of fingers. For Tesla, and we didn't even have Cybertruck help us in this past quarter. So for Tesla to put up this sort of numbers With the same vehicles, there wasn't a big refresh in this past quarter. There's going to be in the future quarters, and obviously Cybertruck's going to be in future quarters as well, especially in 2024 quarters. To put up those numbers in this horrible of a freaking interest rate environment is outstanding. I could not be more happy as a Tesla shareholder seeing them put up those sorts of numbers. I could not be more thrilled, okay? The bottom line is those are freaking amazing numbers, and who else is putting up those sorts of numbers? Who else? No one. No one's putting up those sorts of growth rates. In this environment, these companies wait to see their volumes be down substantially over this next several quarters while Tesla's still growing like a weed, okay? This was interesting. I just had to bring this to your guys' attention. Tesla's building something called Giga Water Loop. Check out the picture of this thing, okay? No one knows exactly what it is, exactly what it's going to be used for. I know some engineers at Tesla I could maybe reach out, but I'm probably not. I don't know what's going on there, but that's freaking cool, okay? Tesla, my Tesla being cool. I also saw this. This might be more cool. I saw this. It said, you know, if you invested $1,000 in Tesla stock, when basically Elon Musk showed off the Model S, like how much would you have now, okay, from just $1,000 investment, right? The Tesla Model S was the company's first mass market offering. At the time of release, on June 22nd, 2012, shares traded for $2.17 when the market opened. Based on this price, you could have purchased 460 shares of Tesla on that date. Tesla shares have done splits. 2020 it did a 5-for-1 split. 2022 a 3-for-1 split, impacting the overall share count. The 2020 stock split would have turned your 460 shares into 2,304 shares. Then in 2022, your share count would have grown to nearly 7,000 shares. With all of this in mind, considering a $251 share price at the time of publication, right, which is actually higher now, an initial $1,000 investment on June 22nd, 2012 would now be worth more than $1.7 million from a $1,000 investment. Oh my gosh, folks. Oh my gosh. You just look at that and you're just like $1,000 into $1.7 million. Like crazy numbers. I mean, just, you know, even when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's probably going to be like $100,000. Like in my mind, that's what I was thinking. 1.7 million, like just ridiculous. Speaking about ridiculous, Elon Musk's net worth just jumped $10 billion today, folks. $10 billion. Can you imagine that one day? Your stock goes up 6%, your net worth jumps $10 billion. What a number. What a number, okay? Alrighty, PayPal. So PayPal, obviously, is probably actually the stock I'm adding the most aggressively right now, and will be the stock I'll probably be adding the most aggressive out of any stock in the market for the remainder of this year, okay? And then I'll be able to start backing off my buys in the first quarter of this year, and I think PayPal has a brilliant, obviously, 2024 for the company and the stock, and obviously I think it has a phenomenal long term, right? PayPal. So what's going on here? Well, a few things. PayPal has announced that users can now add their PayPal and Venmo credit card and debit cards to Apple Wallet, which is still earning the same cashback and rewards for eligible purchases. The new integration means that users can use the cards and make contactless payments in store and use iPhones and iPads and Macs to make purchases in apps and on the web using Apple Pay. All right. To get started, users should open the Apple Wallet, tap the plus button, then add debit credit card option, right? Cards can be scanned or card details can be entered manually. PayPal says that users will be able to use this directly in the PayPal and Venmo apps in the coming months, right? And so at the end of the day, when it comes to this, everything PayPal and Venmo's up to, a lot of it comes down to one word. One word, okay? Do you know what that one word is? Convenience. Convenience, okay? Convenience is key in this payments game, in this payments ecosystem. Convenience is the reason that if I get an option to enter in my credit card when I go to buy something, or PayPal, I do PayPal. Because to get my credit card, I got to go to my room and get my wallet. Versus PayPal, it literally just, I hit the button, it scans my face, and boom, I'm ready to rock and roll. I didn't have to get up, didn't do anything. Convenience is always so important in this game. And so anything PayPal and Venmo can do to make people's lives more convenient is a great thing. Anything they do to make people's lives less convenient is a bad thing, okay? And so if you want to talk about trying to become the biggest giant you can in the finance space, you need to make people's lives convenient, right? I never had ordered anything from DoorDash before, but DoorDash basically has an exclusive relationship with Cheesecake Factory in North Italia, which Cheesecake Factory is probably one of the top stocks I'm buying right now as well, right? And so I wanted to try it out this weekend. So I downloaded DoorDash because usually I just use Uber Eats. And when I was greeted with payment methods, look what I got for options. Credit and debit card, obviously, that should be one, right? Apple Pay, PayPal, Venmo, and then Cash App, which no one uses. No, I'm just kidding. But those are the options I got presented to me, right? So two of those options are, guess what? PayPal and Venmo. And plus, if you had a PayPal credit card or debit card, you could also have used that there. So there's really multiple different options there. That's just a thing of beauty, right? Just a thing of beauty. And guess what I used? PayPal. Because it was easy. Literally, I clicked that button, it scanned my face, and boom, away. And the order came in. By the way, food was good. Not as good as eating there, but it was pretty dang good, okay? So PayPal, really excited there. Fubo. This is the latest. So the September numbers finally finalized. I've been waiting for this day for so long. The September numbers finally finalized for Google Trends for Fubo. It was just as I predicted. The greatest month ever in Fubo's history when it came to Google Trends data. What that likely means is a ridiculous amount of subscribers likely subscribed in October for Fubo. Okay, we don't know obviously specific numbers right now, but I can tell you in these previous peaks, we saw insane signups for Fubo in these previous peak periods, and we just blew it out of the water. Blew it out of the water, folks, okay? So with Fubo blowing things out of the water there and setting a by far and away new record for Google Trends, you know, to just think with our brains and little common sense here, likely subscriber numbers are going to be ridiculous, okay? Here's the deal. The company had guided last quarter for basically fiscal year 2023 to have 1.56 million to 1.58 million subscribers. Based upon that Google Trends data, my question is, are we going to hit like 1.6 million subscribers this year or 1.7 million subscribers this year? That's my question, okay? If we hit more than that, then we're talking this is game over at this point in time, okay? But I'm thinking kind of 1.6 to 1.7. I think these numbers are cake, right? Now, also the company had guided for basically as far as revenue for this year, about $1.26 billion to $1.28 billion. I would say, you know, obviously if everybody's subscribing in September, the revenue is really going to hit next quarter. So the October, November, December quarter, right? So I'm going to go out on there on a limb and say probably we're in the bag for 1.3, 1.4 for revenue for this year. We'll see what the numbers add up to. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you based upon the deal they had there with the Spectrum situation and based upon the Google Trends data and based upon, you know, everything that happened, I think they're going to likely have beat their revenue expectations for this year in guidance and their subscriber numbers. We'll see, but that's just my expectation. We'll see how it all plays out, folks, okay? So, yeah, still very, very bullish on Fubo, more bullish than ever. That's the company I'm looking the most forward to. Their earnings this earnings season, just to be quite frank. I can't wait to see their numbers. I can't wait to hear their guidance. I can't wait to hear that conference call. That's the one I care about the most. Just, you know, it's not even close to being one of my biggest stocks I own. It's just the one I'm most excited about for this, you know, obviously next several years, but certainly next several quarters, okay? Now, we had a relief rally today, right? Obviously, Dow eked out some gains. S&P 500 was up today. NASDAQ was up. And, you know, when you see something like this, especially when you come off of a really nasty market, you got to ask yourself, is this real? Is this like a real sustainable rally? Are we going up from here? Is the market coming back? Or is this just a little fake out? And right down we go. And so what I like to look at to kind of be able to tell if we're in a little fake out rally or if this is something that's real and it's sustained and we're turning the corner here, is I like to look at certain stocks, okay? The first place I want to look is a slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse is fintech. I should honestly change this watch list from fintech to slaughterhouse, okay? These stocks have been devastated recently. And they've been devastated, honestly, for over 2 years now at this point in time, right? This is a slaughterhouse. And so I want to see, is there any, real sustained recoveries here? And I looked at two of these stocks that you would expect to have a nice recovery today. Neither one of them came around. Affirm was down 2% today. Square didn't do a thing. The stock finished flat. Come on, man. If this was a real deal rally, you would have seen stocks like this performing well, because guess what? If you're talking about, these are like high beta stocks, so at the end of the day, if the market's going to go up substantially, it's going to push up stocks like Square and Affirm. So if you were super bullish let's say that the market's turned a corner, we're going to, be up from here over this next, couple months or next 30 days, whatever. You'd be buying Affirm, you'd be buying Square, because those stocks will likely outperform if we're on an uptrending market. This today tells me that there's kind of no belief in this little relief rally we had today, and this is maybe just something going on for trading, maybe something going on with options, not wanting to have too many people, let's call it in the green when it came to some of the put options and things like that, right? I also want to see some of these beaten down dogs. Is there any recovery here? Win, down again today, which, by the way, Win's a huge buy this next 3 to 6 months. RH, down again today. I hope that baby goes under 200. That's my Christmas gift. If RH can go under 200, Christmas gift. WBA down, Target down. So you're not seeing any recovery in those stocks either yet, right? What happened in the commodity space today? Well, commodities had a horrible day. GSG, which is a commodity index, that's just an easy one. If you don't want to track all the individual commodities, add GSG to your watch list, and you'll be able to track what's kind of going on with commodities, which is also going to let you kind of know what's going on with inflation, right? GSG had a horrible day today. Down over 3% for GSG is pretty rare. That's a horrible day. WTI was down like 5% here today. Disaster, folks. Disaster. And that was after Saudis and Russia, basically said we're going to keep our cuts in place. So that's not good. Not good at all, right? Now, in regards to these dividend stocks, these value stocks, my personal belief, I'm not expecting a big rally at year end. I'm of the belief that, I'm not expecting these stocks to have some miracle comeback in this next couple months. Tax loss selling is going to be significant, in my opinion, in regards to a lot of these beaten down value stocks and dividend stocks that have fallen 20, 30, 40% this year. And so I think there's going to continue to be selling pressure for at least the remainder of this month. I don't know if it's going to go into November and December, but that's kind of my thought process in regards to this. I'm not expecting all these stocks to just bounce back magically. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in regards to this. I know a lot of other people are thinking super bullish, and I know Tom Lee was out there talking about a violent rally, and last time I heard him say violent rally, he was talking about February of 2022, and we got anything but that. So I don't know, man. I'm just not so convinced that violent rally necessarily coming here in the short term. So I'm very much hoping that these value stocks and dividend stocks stay down here for this next several months. But with that being said, I'm also working with a sense of urgency in this market, right? And you got to really work with a sense of urgency in this market, especially if you like these dividend stocks, these value stocks. You can't just wait around forever and be like, here's the deal, folks, okay? We got all these stocks, this platter of stocks, great companies, truly great companies, at many, many multi-year lows, right? And so you can take an approach to that of like, oh, they're going to stay down, I have all the time in the world to buy. No, okay? You've got to work with urgency. I'm working with a lot of urgency over this next 3 to 6 months in this market and trying to gobble up as many of these value and dividend stocks that are beaten down heavily. They're at multi-year lows and some multi-decade lows. I'm trying to gobble up as many shares as I possibly can over this next 3 to 6 months. I don't think I have all the time in the world. I'm hedging just in case the market's a mess next year, but I'm not banking that the market's going to be a mess next year. There's very much a possibility that the market could actually have a pretty decent year next year if we can get small business index in a much better place, if inflation can become a let's call it subject in 2024, and if consumer confidence can pick up from its extremely low levels, folks. You could look out there and you could actually see a potential for a decent 2024. And so I'm not going to bank the whole house. I'm not banking the whole house on the stock market crashing next year, which means over this next 3 to 6 months, I've got to continue to gobble up as many shares of these value stocks, dividend stocks, in these high-quality companies. Because I'm just telling you, they're not going to be at multi-year lows forever. It's just not going to happen. We're in a very freak time right now, and I've got to take advantage of the opportunity I'm given. And I'll put it to you kind of like this, right? When you have great companies at multi-year lows, and then you add on top of that lots of fear in the market, which right now, if you look at the fear and greed index, we're in extreme fear for the market right now. That's going to equal buy and don't stop buying. If we're in a situation where all these stocks are at multi-year highs, and we're in a market where, man, there's just so much optimism and no one's looking at the bear case and it's just euphoria. Hey, that's a whole different ballgame. That's a market where you don't have to buy very heavily because it's a whole different game. But I'm telling you, what do we know throughout history? Throughout history, every single time, you're getting great companies at multi-year lows and sometimes 10-year lows, 5-year lows, 7-year lows, 12-year lows, 15-year lows, and you've got a lot of fear in the market, you've got to be buying. You've got to be buying. And so these are some of the things I come back to and remember, work with a sense of urgency. And so that's why I'm going to continue to gobble up deals over this next 3 to 6 months, folks. And yeah, there will be no relenting in regards to that, folks. I appreciate everybody joining me as always. If you're looking to apply to join my private group, make sure you do that with the pinned comment down there. Get access to all that. That can help you out tremendously. If you want to be a real player in this game, yeah, you need to get in there. Join us in there and get your knowledge up in a much better place. Plus, get access to the private Discord chat with all the 6 and 7 figure members is phenomenal, folks. So that opportunity is for you. It's pinned comment down there. Much love and have a great day.